Where's mine? All right, let me make this bigger over here. All right, we got Anthony in the building, Chuck B here. What's going on, Chuck? Anthony, how y'all doing? Mark and D in the house. Lovely. All right, I already have the time set for 9:25. So I'm just gonna hit play just so I could go over some of the plays that happened that day. I'm gonna also pull up the time and sales because we all love time and sales, right? Once y'all learn how to use time and sales, man, the sky's the limit with this one. Let me make sure all the alerts are set. And if you want to set the alerts for time and sales, literally the third choice right here where it says block alert sounds, you just click on it and you just choose one of the sounds that's on there. If you don't see any sounds here, you could go to where there's sounds on your computer. You can put music there, whatever you want to put there, honestly. But I have mine at 60. So anytime I hear an order of 60 or larger pop in, it's gonna make a noise for me. And I have it loud too, because if I'm in the living room and somebody put in a big order, I want to be there. Because last time I was in the living room and it went off, somebody put in an order of like 400 contracts. Yeah, I jumped in that trade. I went in and jumped. Time and sale. Once you get good with time and sales, you'll know how long to wait before you jump into a trade following them. And it's just a good way to trade when there's no levels. Like when the market's somewhere where there's no levels that you recognize, but yet you see somebody put in 200 contract trade, you can be like, well, look, if they want to put in 200 contracts, I can do at least one contract, trying to snatch up a little bread, you know. And you could do it in micros too. So I'll look at the time and sales on that on NQ, and I will use the information from NQ to trade MNQ. Because even though it's slightly different, the movement is still the same. If the market goes up on NQ, it's going to go up on MNQ as well. But pulling up the time and sales and putting it on MNQ, they're micros. The big dogs that we're trying to follow don't trade micros. Trust me. They're not over there doing 900 contracts in micros. That defeats the purpose for them. So, but you can still look at NQ time and sales and take trades on the micros with it. And actually, you can sit into the trade a lot longer on micros by following it. And for those that don't know, obviously the news channels that we use is Forex Factory and US.Econo Day. So those are all the news on US.Econo Day is the green and the red that you want to look out for. And on Forex Factory is the orange and red you want to look out for. And Friday we had news at 8:30, which already happened, 9:15 and 10 o'clock. So over here is 9:15. See 9:15 industrial production. So that was 9:15. Even though
Mr.
it's
H,
yeah,
is time and sales on all platforms or just NinjaTrader?
I don't know. I've only found it on NinjaTrader. I don't know if it's on any other platforms. They might call it something different. But we can see real quick. Let me see. What other platform you want to see if it's on? Like Trade Lock or something, or Trading View.
Yeah, TradingView, TradeStation, Tasty Works, or Tasty Trade. I was just asking.
Let's see. Trading View time and sales. Does Trading View have a time and sales data available? Block network security. Oh, this is my VPS. That's why. I'll check it on my. I'll check it over here. Yeah, that VPS is secured, boy. They don't want nothing popping up on there. Let's see. The time of sales, trading view. Oh yeah, so trading view they call it is known as tape. Time of sales is known as tape on trading view. Displays real-time record of executed trades for a specific instrument, showing time, price, and volume of each transaction. Yeah, so they have it. And they have a built-in DOM. So their DOM has the time and sales on it also. Yeah, so they do have it. It's just called something different.
All
There's
right,
called tape, or you can pull up the DOM. And like NinjaTrader, we have a DOM in NinjaTrader. I just don't trade off of it.
all right. Thank you, Ms. A.
So no problem. All right, right here, the market is about to open. Let me pause this. Make sure the levels are correct. Yep, high and low. And every day, of course, we mark off our highs and our lows. So on a daily candle, you click the little button on your mouse, or you can hit the button up top that says show data box. So you got a data box, just hover over the candlestick and it will show you the high, which is 6300. So I will put that on 6300 because you want to be exactly on the mark. You don't want to estimate where the high is or where the low is. This low is 871. 87100. Double click on that line. 87100. Because that was already on mark. All right, that's the day. That's all I mark off really on the daily because there's nothing else to really look at. All right, we got the 4 hour right here. That gap right here. This was a little gap right there that bounced. It bounced around this area, so that gap is gone. So there's really no major levels on this chart either. Friday, it wasn't really a lot of levels Friday. But that's why I showed you guys the Don Chain channel, because Don Chain channel gives a little extra hint of levels that you can look at. But swing lows like this right here, these little yellow dots, a swing low on a 4 hour or a 1 hour or a daily chart are good levels as well. Now I wouldn't normally take a swing low off of a 5 minute chart unless it coincides with something else. So the any level I find on a 5 minute chart, I just use that as a confirmation. I don't really trade only that level on a 5 minute, but it's times where I will take a trade off of the 4 hour swing because it's also right above the S1. So the S1 and the swing are sitting right next to each other. So I would definitely mark that one off. And you can find out exactly where that is. The low is 93.25 with 93.25. Mark that, and you can make it a brown line because it is on the 4 hour. But I also go to dots because the swing a swing high and a swing low are dots on the indicator. So if I'm gonna mark it off with one of my lines, I'm gonna also make the line a dot. That way, when I'm on my 5 minute chart and I see that those dots, I know it's not a hard level. I know it's a swing level down there. And look, also on the 5 minute is also a swing low on the 5 minute. So the 4 hour and the 5 minute both have a swing at the same level. That's when I use a level on the 5 minute chart, is if it coincides with a level on a higher time frame. So once again, it's not guaranteed to bounce off of here, but you have a stronger opportunity that it bounce off of here than anything else. And that's that level right here. So that's it on the 4 hour. And then we go down to the 5 minute. This is way down here on the 5 minute. Let's see. So there's really nothing to mark on there. Down to the 1 hour chart. Now the 1 hour chart normally it stays busy. So we have a nice little bounce right here off the 1 hour chart. That's about all I see here. Now that orange line is LIS. Y'all all know the LIS, correct? That LIS is also a strong level. Is anybody unclear with the LIS? Need me to explain it again?
Yes, if you could explain that again, the
Oh, yes.
LIS.
Yeah, so the LIS is called the line in the sand. So every day, well, not every day, Monday, when the market closes at Monday at 16:05, 16:05, the closure of that 16:05 candle is normally a strong level because that's normally when the market makers, the big industry traders, they're off of work at 4:05. So 16:05 in the afternoon, that's their last trade. So it is a strong level for the next day. It's normally still level throughout the night. I've taken trades off of it throughout the night, but definitely is good until the next day at 8 and 9:30 when the market opened. All those people that left at 16:05, they're back at work now. So that's just a strong level because that's normally the last trade that they took, industry wise. So it's called the LIS or line in the sand, and it's a very strong level to mark
And
off
which chart are you basing that off of?
the 5 minute.
Gotcha.
Yep. So that's one 5 minute chart level that I will utilize. They just call it the LIS. Now the LIS from Friday, do not use that on Monday. Okay, the LIS when they left on Monday, just because the market closed, remember the market's still running. It's just not available for us. So using the LIS from Friday, when Monday comes along, so much happened over the weekend that's not even a strong level anymore because it's actually like 2 days later, day and a half, 2 days later. But the LIS from Monday to Tuesday, great. Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, Thursday to Friday. But Friday to Monday, don't even use it. It's not consistent enough. So that's what that orange line is, and I trade off of that all the time. All right, so we
That's
mark
not that line is not all the way on that chart, is it?
right here.
Yeah, that orange line.
Yeah, it's from 16:05 the day before.
Oh, okay.
And to do that, you just right click, you go to drawing tools, and you can put array, or you can put an arrow line. Because an arrow line,
Oh,
you
you
can put
said rate.
you can put a line there.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You can put a line there, you can stretch it out, you can move it around, but you can keep it straight on a straight and narrow, and that way it'll mark off that whole day. Because it's not good the next day. So you don't want to run it from Monday to Wednesday. You just want it from Monday night or 4 o'clock Monday to Tuesday. So you can do that with array. I have an old indicator that somebody made for me to put the line there every day. I just don't have the actual file. Yeah, go get a fruit snack. All right, so this is the 9:30 open. This is what happened.
Recording in progress.
I want y'all to zoom in so you can see exactly what happened Friday. That big old drop where my computer froze up. Yep, yep, yep. Missed that whole drop because my computer froze up. Now, right there at that level, y'all see it bounced off the overnight low. That was a nice bounce off the overnight low. It was there for a good time, but not a long time. But you still could have got about 50 to 100 off that and then got out that trade. And the reason why I say get out the trade because time and sales had a whole bunch of orange and purple. So that told me they was pushing it down. So just because there's a line there, don't mean you got to jump in immediately. You can wait and see what happens around that line. Same thing with the LIS. That market opened, it was moving way too fast for me to take a trade right at the LIS. So I prefer to chill for a little bit and wait to see what happens. And look, time and sales just had way too many orange going in for me to take a buy. So I was like, I'm looking for a sell if anything. Look at that. It was selling. You could have just literally just hit sell. I don't recommend just clicking sell button, but when you see that many sales going in, you know, I'm just saying, use a little discernment. You could have took a trade at the retracement. You could have waited for it to come back to the green line and sold it from there. You could have waited for it to come back up to the orange line and sold from there. Or to be a little safer, you could wait for it to actually close on the 5 minute. So that's what the bar timer down here is telling you. Instead of just jumping into a trade, if you're, not as experienced, you could just wait until the bar closes to see, does it close below these levels? Because once it closes below these levels are no longer support, they are resistance. So they were support, but the market pushed past them like they didn't exist. So I will be waiting for the closure, and then I will see what I want to do after it closes. So I'm gonna fast forward it so you guys can see what happens when it closes. Now, also, this would be a good time to use the bot, because when you see a candle moving up and down like this, you could put the bot on both, and it will start making money up and down. So when it's choppy like that, that bot works really well. And that's how I gauge it. If I see it moving up and down like this, I'll put the bot on both and just do like $100, $200 every time I click the button, just to snatch up some quick loot until this market calms down for me to take a regular trade. All right, so now new candle opened up, right? When a new candle opens up, you notice how this one closed below two strong levels. These are normally very strong levels of support. But because for some reason all these cells went in to push it down, it just blew past the support part, and now they are resistance because it finally closed below them. So to be safe, you could take a trade from this one. You can sell it from here.
Order submitted.
Oh, let me choose an ATM strategy that you actually can see. Yeah, that's good. So you can either be safe and sell it from up here,
Order
or you
submitted.
can take a little chance and sell it from here. You know,
Order submitted.
because it could hit here and bounce. It could go straight all the way up here and bounce. This obviously is a safer move because it's a little further up from that big old red candle, right? What you can also do is, and as I said, there's several trades that you can look at. You can also go to drawing tools, go to Fibonacci retracement, and take it from the top to the bottom. And look at where that 50% mark is. The 50% mark is right here. So we're gonna take a trade there and see what happens.
Order submitted.
All right. So I'm gonna let it play out just to see exactly what happens on here.
Hey, Mr. H.
Yep.
Okay, so like you have those three cell entries.
Mhm.
If the first one is touched, the other ones close out, or do they
No, the way
still
mine is
remain
set up,
up?
they'll stay there.
How do you set that up?
On over here, you right click, you go to properties. I have mine ATM strategy selection mode. I have it on select active strategy on submission. And then quantity, I don't think, yeah, increase quantity of pre-existing order. This one is submit new order for additional quantities. This one is just increase the quantity. So if I hit buy or sell, it's just going to add to it. But yeah, you can set it to where the only time I like it to where it goes away is if I'm putting in a buy and a sell. So whichever one it hit first is going to get rid of the other one. But if I have sales in there, then it could put me in 3 contracts if it keeps going up. Hey, Jen is here. Hey, good afternoon. All right, so we'll go ahead play so we can see exactly how it plays out. Like as I said, when you're trading, there's no guarantee, right? So when I'm practicing, I like to practice. Okay, if I was in the market, which one of these would be the better option? And normally it's always the one that's farther up that's the better option. But you're also taking a risk of not even getting picked up, right? But don't have FOMO, don't fear of missing out because you always get another opportunity. But I just like to test out what strategies work more often, and I write them down. I literally, I have a pen and a pad when I trade, and I literally write down everything that happens when I trade. So we're just gonna see how it plays out. Is it gonna hit the first one, second, or third? And we still got a lot of orders going in, but we're looking at retracement sales or retracement opportunities. You see, it hit it, but it ain't picked me up. There we go.
Order canceled.
Oh, well, that happened fast. But it hit both of those orders. It made $50 because it hit the order, the first one, then it hit the stop loss, and then it got into the second order and made money. So we're only at 50, but I'm gonna do it again because it happened pretty fast. Let's move it back.
Canceled.
No, stop.
All right, it's resetting now. I got a lot of stuff loaded on here. It should not take this long to load, but I'll figure that out. It's moving a lot faster than it used to once I cleared the cache. Oh, well, I don't have the bot out. There's a bot. Hey, Jasmine, turn that TV down. Yeah, turn it down, buddy. All right, here we go. All right. So once again, market didn't open yet. Okay, there's the open. There's that big drop from Friday that I missed. And guys, if your platform ever freezes up, right? What I normally do on my phone, if you have Rhythmic, you could have a tablet, your phone, or you just have the website opened up to Rhythmic, you have your Rhythmic available, or you have your Trade Evade. That way, if it freezes up, you could go to the Trade Evade website and close out any trades that you're currently in when it froze up. Okay. Because if you call NinjaTrader or Apex or whatever, be like, hey, it froze up, I lost money. They're gonna be like, well, you should have closed out your trades. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna care. So always have TradeAway open either on your browser or on your phone. That way you could log in and just close out the trade if it ever freezes. Because mine froze up Friday. Luckily, I had mine open. I just hit the button, close out the trades, and I didn't lose any money.
Hey, Mr. Hawkins, what was that app called again?
The app for which one to close out your trades?
Yeah.
If you have a TradeAway account, you can log into tradeavate.com. If you have a Rhythmic account, you can actually you can have your Rhythmic open, this little thing right here. You have the little Rhythmic open and close out your trades.
Okay.
Yeah, because it does happen. It don't happen often, but that was the first time I froze up in like maybe 5-6 months, but it does happen. And I was in 3 trades. So luckily I was able to, I already had it open. I just hit the button, close it out. And by the time it started running back again, I was fine. All right, we're almost to that candle again. All right, that's the new candle. All right, so once again, we did a Fibonacci on that one. Fibonacci retracement from the, anytime I see a large candle, I like to do a little Fibonacci on that. And we're on the 5 minute because I just like to find where the 50% marker is, which is right there.
Order submitted.
So to be safe, you could either sell from the 50% or you can sell from the LIS line because the LIS is still a strong level. But let's look at the overnight low. Let's see if we can sell from the overnight low because I want to see what happens. So I'm going to put an order on all three of these so we can actually see which one works or how they work. I'm not going to speed it up this time. I'm going to leave it alone because that thing jumped quick.
Hey, Mr. H, what kind of trail stop we got going on for your ATM strategy for this?
This one does not have a trailing stop because this is just trying to get 50 bucks.
Okay.
Yeah, this ATM strategy is only a profit of 10, but I'll show you how to set the trailing on there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to show you how it worked with the retracement. So once the market dropped down and went past the levels that I wanted to take a buy at, I mean it froze up, but I wouldn't have took a buy because all these orders were going in. All those orange orders are sales. I'm not going to try to buy the market when I see all those sales going in. That's just crazy. Not saying you would have made some money because we see it bounced off the green line for about a good 50, 60 bucks, but you couldn't have been there for a long time. So it's so many factors that you have to take into effect. It's good to have little things like time and sales and stuff like that available that you can look at. Didn't pick me up.
Order failed.
Okay, so now it picked me up, right? My stop loss is up here. It picked me up in this trade. Let's see how it plays out.
Order canceled.
What? How did let's skip over? Okay, so order canceled. That was the first one. Let's see what it did on the first one. So that was the 50 bucks. It jumped in and got me $50. So I forgot to change it back. It does cancel out the other ones. So the way I have it set up, it does cancel out the other ones.
Order submitted.
All right, so let's see what it does at the 50% mark.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, so we see the retracement of the overnight low worked.
Order failed.
Let's see how that one works. Ooh.
Target failed.
And you heard that buzzard? Somebody did an 85 contract sell. 85 contracts. That's going to do some damage. That he put in at 880. He put that in at 880. Now, so the bounce off the overnight low, 50 bucks. The bounce off the 50% happened. That was another 50 bucks. Now let's see if it bounces off. And I'm going to put the ATM strategy with the trailing stop on there. Let me see. This one's a trail stop. No, they don't have a trailing stop. They just have a profit trigger to it. At all. All right, that one has one.
Order submitted.
And we're gonna see what happens on this one. Yeah, but that big order, that was at 880. I'm at 884. They put that order in at 880.
Order failed.
All right, we're in the trade now. See how it moves with it. This is the trade that I took Friday. Because once again, the LIS it was the stronger or more than likely trade to work, and that's how it trails behind it. I don't have a target on mine.
Okay.
Knock me out right there. I don't put a target. I just put a stop loss and a trail.
I was wondering.
Yeah. I don't put a so out of those 3 trades right there, we had a total of 355.
Mr. H, could
Yep.
you go back over that where you say it won't cancel out the other entries?
Yeah, so mine was set that it did cancel out. But you would change this right here, which is ATM strategy select mode, select ATM strategy on order submission. And then this is quantity modification for stocks. You have that one right there too. I have an increased quantity of pre-existing order.
So are you saying after you put in each?
Yeah, after it puts me in a trade, it canceled the other ones. It did.
No, I'm saying you would open up that right there
Yeah.
after you select each sale that you're going to post.
Yeah. I put one on each because it took out the other ones. But if you wanted to stay there, I think it's keep selected ATM strategy on order submission. I have mine on select active. So whatever one was active, it got rid of the other ones. I think it's gonna keep select. Will keep it there.
Okay.
But yeah, but I was showing you that the main reason was to show you when the market opened up, it was moving so fast. I didn't want to take a buy at the LIS or the overnight low. Those are normally areas that I would buy from. But the reason why I didn't buy from there is because the market was pushing down so fast and the time it sells was all orange. As soon as the market opened up, look at 9:30. All this 9:30, all this orange and this purple, these are all sales. The green are the little bit of buys. It wasn't enough. So because I seen all those, I wouldn't have jumped into a buy because it was just literally pushing straight through it. But once it closed below these 2 levels, the orange is the LIS, the green is my overnight low. Once it closed below both of those, I was like, okay, they're no longer resistance. They're no longer support, meaning they're going to stop the market, push it back up. Once it closed below them, they're no longer support. They are now resistance. So I took a resistance trade at the overnight low. We made about 50, could have made about $100 on that one. The 50% Fibonacci was that long drop candle. I just did a 50% from the top to the bottom, counting the wicks. So I put a line at the 50%. Guess what? We made about another 50 to 100 on that one. But the trade that I took Friday was the LIS. And when you notice when it came to the LIS, it didn't go for a quick 50 to 100. It said, all right, I'm going down because that was the more probable trade. And the reason why that was the more probable trade is because it was the one high closer to the open. So the market came all the way back up to that one and then went down a lot. I could have got more than that. But the way my trail was set up, it just trailed a little closer than the market moved. But that's cool though. I like trailing stops because when you have in multiple accounts, if I'm over there trading 2, 3 accounts over here, I got 2, 3 accounts up here, I don't have time to move the trailing stop on each one manually. So I'll just put a trailing stop and whatever it knocks me out at, I'm cool with it. They all made money. That's the green is what we're trying to get anyway. But if you're only trading with 1 or 2 accounts, you can manually move the stop loss into profit for yourself. But I like the auto trail because I can place a trade and I could be over here looking at something else. And whatever it knocks me out at, cool. As long as I'm not red, I am all right. But
Hey, good
that's
news.
how I would place that trade on there.
My bad.
Mr. H, could you demonstrate the buy and sell?
Do you mean hedging the market?
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that. Now hedging the market is when you have a buy and a sell on the same account. They're normally deny your payout for when you do that. So what you can do to get around that, is you could put in a buy on NQ and you could put a sell on MNQ on the same account. You can do that. That's not considered, it's weird, but that's not considered hedging. But if you do 10 contracts on micros, it's the same as one contract on minis. So a lot of people do that and get away with it as well. So if you want to put in a buy and a sell, you would just have to trade one on NQ and one on MNQ, same account though.
Hey, Will, on the time to sell, I know we got the big institutions, but who are those retail traders when they
Yeah, that's me and you.
uh,
Yeah,
uh
that's regular people putting one, two, five, six contracts. Because when I trade my 250K accounts, I'll do 10 contracts.
okay.
I'm a little crazy with it sometimes.
Yeah.
But I have a 250K PA that, 10 contracts, it ain't really gonna hurt you that much. You know what I mean? And plus, once you guys start getting a cushion in your accounts, you can do more contracts. Like I have a 50K account that I only trade 5 contracts at a time. But I've had that one a very long time. So the bigger the cushion, you can take bigger trades and sit in them a lot longer. The more cushion you have, the easier trading gets because you're not in such a rush to get out of a trade that's negative 500. You're like, oh, negative 200. Oh, let me try to get out. Once you get that 10, $15,000 cushion in there, you're not tripping about no negative $1,000, honestly. You can sit in the trade and just wait for it to really play out the way you want it. But that's why I tell you guys to practice in micros because micros is similar. If you're only doing 2, 3 contracts in micros, you're only risking $1.50, a dollar to $1.50 with 2, 3 contracts. So you could sit in a trade and actually watch it play out a little bit better, and without stressing about it. Especially if you do one contract. If you can make $50 a day with one contract on micros, that's equal to $500 a day in minis.
Hey, Mr. H, just to kind of give you some feedback on that. I was after I finished the course, I was training, I was doing paper trading before, and then after I finally finished the course, I was getting read all over, doing just trying stuff out. After I finished the course, I did paper trading for 2 days, the last 2 days, and I had nothing but green. I don't know if it was beginner luck, but I mean, it was and I was trading the NQ. I think I made about 3,300 each day.
Mhm.
And but the one thing that I see a difference is that margin drawdown. I started like honing in on that margin drawdown, and my personally philosophy was when I was paper trading, just because it got that 50K or 100K in there or whatever, it was more easy for me to ride, the wave.
Yeah.
If you starting off with, $300-400, when I started doing like my live account and you got like 400-500 in there, it get a little tighter.
So are
So
you trading with a prop firm or your own cash?
well, I haven't put my money in my live, but I'm just looking at it and I'm like, well, I want to load up some money in my live and put 300-400 in there after those.
No, no, don't put money in. Don't put your real money in there. Don't
I
play with
got
your real
I
money.
got I got two prop firms. I got a 25 from
Okay, okay.
Apex and
Don't put your
I
real
just
money in
haven't
there
start
yet.
I just haven't started them off yet, but I got a 25 and a 50K.
Okay.
Uh I did everything like the last, I don't know if you remember, but I've been following you for like couple of months, and then this whole week I done went through everything. So Friday I kind of got your course, and then I went MIA, and then the plan was to come back here after I, got everything down. But I
Okay.
did go ahead and get my 25K and 50K. Can you speak on like the reason why I was going to put a little bit of money in my own account and start playing with it was because I'm not totally understanding the payouts. I know that you got to get through the evaluation, but I'm not totally okay. Once I make 1,500, I don't really know when you could take a payout or what buffer.
Okay. So with a 25K account, you make 1,500 to get approved. Once you get it approved, you have to make 1,600 to get your first payout. Right? With a 50K account, you got to make 3,000 to get it approved. And then once you get it approved, you got to make 2,600 to get your first payout. The way I've done it, and a lot of other traders do it, We don't take, if you made 1,600 to get your first payout, don't withdraw $1,500 because now you only $100 in the good, right? So if you make 1,600 to get your first payout, I recommend only taking out about 500 just to make up for some of the money you spent already, right?
Hmm.
So if you make 1,600 in a 25K account, take out 500. That way you still got a $1,100 buffer in there because you'll blow the account if you get down to 25,100. Anything below $25,100, you're gonna blow that brand new PA account. So you don't want to make 1,600 and take out the max of 1,500, right? Take out 500, and then I wouldn't take out another withdrawal till you have at least a $3,000 cushion. But just take your time. Don't rush the process. When you try to rush it, oh, I gotta hurry up and get a payout, you're gonna tear the account up because you're trying to push yourself. Now, as far as going from paper back to trading the evaluation or a PA or a real cash, that's nothing but mental. That's just the mentality of it because when you're trading paper, there's no risk whatsoever. But when you start trading your real cash, once you start trading your evaluations, there is a risk to evaluations. You blow the evaluation, you got to start all over, you got to pay some more money. So the making money, good money in your paper account, you just got to understand that's because you have no real risk. You know what I'm saying? I'm sim rich. My sim account got 300K, 500,000 in there be chilling. You know what I'm saying? But once you trade real money or PAs or it's just a mentality thing, really. But that's why as a starter, especially with a cash account or once you pass your eval, I recommend just either you find your average first or you just try to get 50 to 100 per trade. You don't have to be per day. I recommend 100 per day. But if you want to do 100 per trade, do 100 per trade. Get 100, wait for another opportunity. That's the best way to do it when you're trying to just build up that cushion. Um, just try not to come in the game with that. I don't like to say gambler mentality, but the mentality of, hey, in simulation, I do 3,000. That don't mean you're gonna get into your PA account and do the same. And you also have a consistency rule you have to follow when you first get a PA approved, which you pass the eval is now a PA account. You can only make 30% of what the withdrawal is. So on a 25K account on Apex, you can only make like 450 a day. You're going to either make or lose 450 a day to stay within that consistency 30%. With Bullinox, a 25K account, you can make like 700 because they have a 40% consistency rule. So once you get it approved, you can't make that kind of money anyway. At least not your first, I think it's like your first 3 withdrawal until they take that limit off of you. Because they will lift that limit eventually, but they just want to make sure you're consistent first. They don't want you to get a brand new account and make 3,000 the first 2 days, and then you lose 10,000 the next 4 or 5 days. They want you to be consistent, so that's why they put that rule there. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend putting your own cash in there just yet. What I did was I used my evaluations, I passed those, and then every time I got a withdrawal, I just took a couple hundred away from my withdrawal and put it into a separate account. And then once I built up 5, 10K, I put that into the market as a cash account. In my cash account, I only do like $30 a day, like 20, $30 a day. Because 20, $30 a day with a cash account is still faster growth than any 401k or Roth IRA. Most Roth IRAs do not grow $30, $40 a day. A basic Roth IRA. Now, if you put a whole bunch of money in there, it might grow that much. But a $10,000 Roth IRA is not going to touch $30 a day. So even with a cash account, $30 a day is a lot of money as far as investing goes. And you could go crazy with your prop firm accounts once you get better, of course. But that's how I run it. I hope that helped. Did that help?
Yeah, Mr. H, most doubt. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
okay. I was like, you
That
see
make that.
that?
Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, but you just have to look at the big picture of things. Like I know we want to get in here, get it approved, and start making money immediately. But you're gonna get to the money. You're gonna get to the bag regardless. You know what I'm saying? As long as you stay focused, like I don't care if it's 6 months from now, and you took your time building those accounts up. Once you build them up with a nice cushion, and you start getting, 1,000, 2,000 every pay period, and you got five, six, seven accounts approved now, man, the money gets crazy. It gets crazy. I have eight. I just got my 18th account. Um, and probably about 10 of my 18 are at a withdrawal area. So when I do a withdrawal, it makes no sense. It's like that should not be legal, but it is. But I took my time
Congratulations.
getting there. I've been doing this for 5 years, trading the futures market, and I was doing crypto and forex and everything else before that. And even though I was successful doing that stuff, the money I made in forex and crypto and all that don't even touch the money I make in futures. Don't even touch it. And I was able to quit my job then. I quit my job in 2021, so I was doing decent with those. But yeah, this money don't make any sense. But I was patient though. Yeah, yeah. Anytime you
Congratulations
rush it,
on your
you're gonna get
18th
bopped in
account,
the
man.
head.
Congrats, homie.
Hey, you next. You gotta go ahead and get that done.
Yes, sir.
Get knocked out. But yeah, it's fun. You enjoy it, especially once you start getting those evals approved. Just trade consistent. People get mad at Apex because they denied my payout. Look, if you focus on about $200 a day, once you start getting 10, 15 accounts, that $200 a day come easy. They deny people payout because they try to make so much money in one account. You know what I mean? And they don't like when you're not consistent. You borrow somebody else's money, you got to follow their rules. But at the end of the day, 20 accounts, no other prop firm holds a candle to 20 accounts. And what else?
Yeah. Hey, Will, how do you recognize a sideways market? So when I use the bot, I could say, all right, well, it's time for me to use the bot in a sideways market.
Oh, like this big red candle right here. You notice
Mhm.
when it was moving, it didn't just go straight down. It would go down a little bit, come back up, go down a little bit, come back up. The overall direction was down, but the first 5, 10 minutes of the market is always choppy. So that's why the first 5 to 10 minutes, I'm on my bot. I put it at like $150. I click that button, get 150. Next account, 150. Third account, 150. Fourth account, 150. And if it's still moving choppy, I'll start over again. Account number one, 150. Account number two, 150. And I'll just go down the line until it lose. And with the settings that I gave, when the market is choppy like that, it don't lose often. You'll probably go 10 trades in a row before you get a loss. And if you use all 10 trades on one account, so be it. But I go down, like if I have five evals, I'll go down for all five evals, get 150. And then if it's still chopping, I'll go down the five again and do another 150. Like the account that I got approved, I was 800 away from getting it approved. So I literally just clicked the button. I put it on 200 and clicked it like three times, three, four times. Because it was like right at 780 or something like that I needed. So I just went on one account, clicked that button four times, 200, 200, 200. Just makes it easier. But if it did take a loss, it's like, all right, well, I'll manually trade once it takes a loss. But yeah, that's how I run the bot. The first 5 to 10 minutes is usually choppy in the market. So that's the best time I found to use it. And these are the settings that I had it at. Like this past week, I had it at $100 target, 300 stop loss. So if I did lose, okay, I lose $300. I can manually trade and get $300 back. If not in one day, I'll get 150 today and 150 tomorrow. My 300 is back. But as long as the bot is moving and grooving, man, I'll get $100 10 times in a row. Because 100, you ain't trying to move that much with $100. And you see, I have it on both. The only time I adjust this from long or short is after the first 5 to 10 minutes of the market. That's when the market is really like, okay, it's either going to go up or it's going to go down more likely. But if the only other way to really find a choppy market during the day, um, it'll look something like this right here does. This little area is real choppy. Anytime you see all these different wicks, that's a choppy market. Of course,
Okay.
this is before the open, but if you see this after the open, that's how you know it's a choppy market because there's a bunch of wicks going on.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Yeah, but and also remember there's different types of trade days. There's a trending day, which is either when the market open, it either goes above the market and stays above, or it goes below the market and continues down. You have a test and retest. Test and retest is wherever the market opens up at, the market will the charts the candlesticks will go either above the market and below the open. So if the open is right here, the market will go above it and below it at least 3 times before 10 o'clock. If it goes above and below the open 3 times before 10 o'clock, that's a test and retest day. Now, the ranging days are when the market opens, say the market opens and the market immediately goes above it, but it don't continue up, it just stays above it. It don't go too far up and it don't go past the open. It just stays in that one little zone. That's a narrow range trading day. So you have test and retest when it goes above and below the open a couple times. You have a narrow range trading day where it goes either above or below the open, but it doesn't come back across. It just stays there. And then you have a trending day where it goes one direction and it just keeps going in that one direction the whole day or majority of the day. So the times where it is a trending day, they only happen 15% of the time. Test and retest only 15% of the time. So that tells you right there that 70% of the time, you're going to get a narrow range trading day, which is when the market goes above a certain level and it just stays there all day. So you know 9 times out of the majority of your days are going to be a narrow range trading day. Like I'm telling you, it's all about numbers, man. When you know the numbers, it starts to make way more sense. Like each market only moves a certain direction, a certain amount down, unless news. And that's why they legally have to tell you when news is happening, because news is the only thing that will make the market move in a unnormal manner. You know, so legally they have to tell you, hey, it's news at 10 o'clock. So if you lose money at 10 o'clock, we told you so. That's just legal manipulation. That's why Trump spoke every day last week because he's like, look, we're gonna push this market up. It does. And also like if you'll catch it where there's times where the market will be dropping, they will turn the market off, believe it or not. If that market dropped too much, they will stop trades. So
Do you know what point of control is?
no.
No. Also, there's the folks can find the LIS and the indicators of a NinjaTrader as the opening price, it's called.
Okay. Yeah, so as far as like talking about the 9:30 opening,
No. The LIS, if they want to put the indicator, it's called
oh,
opening price.
oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's the one I have. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's the
what I have
same one.
actually.
Yeah. Opening price. You just got to get the settings, the actual settings for it.
Okay, hold on. I think that's the one I have actually.
So if you want to share the settings with
Oh
them
yeah,
that you have.
okay, here's opening price. Yeah, someone gave it to me. I don't know. I didn't even know I had it on here, or you could get it again. But yeah, here's my settings for opening price. That it puts that orange line there at 1605 every day.
So, explain that. I understand you said put that orange line there at that time.
Mhm.
So I could just go in at any time and put that indicator in there and it's going to do that.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't even know it was on opening price.
You understand?
Oh, I guess yeah, it is in here. Look at that. Yeah, so the settings that I have for opening price is hour 16, event minute is 5. And I have extended plot hours is 24 hours because it extends for the whole day. So yeah, if you use those same settings right here, it'll every day at 1605, it'll put that orange line there for the next day. That line in the sand. Thanks for that, because someone gave that to me. I didn't even know I thought it was something I downloaded. I got so many indicators on here. I can't tell which ones are free or which ones I pay for. You know, everybody got the settings?
And that's permanent.
And I can post them as well.
I'm gonna ask. Mr. H,
Mhm.
you said that opening price and you got yours at 16?
Yep. So event hour is 16 and event minutes is 5. So the 16:05.
Oh, okay. So how does that work for the next day, or you have to go back and put
Oh no,
it
it
in?
automatically it'll put it there every day. You put the extended plot hours as 24. So it'll put it in there for 24 hours. And every day it'll do the same.
Oh,
Yep. So at 16:05, every 24 hours is gonna mark off 16:05
Hey,
on your
Mr.
book.
H, is that a paid that opening price? I'm not seeing that on my indicator list. Is that paid indicator?
I've had it so long, I can't remember
It
if I
probably
paid
is.
for it or not.
Okay.
But wasn't it said it was on there, right?
He said
Was it
so.
Anthony?
how did you get to that proper number? How did you get to that proper number?
And you probably could download. It's probably a free down. You probably if you go to NinjaTrader, because NinjaTrader they have a lot of free apps as well, a lot of free indicators. You could probably type in opening price indicator, and you could probably find it for free.
Copy that.
Just one quick,
Because like I use order flow VWAP, and that one a lot of people have to pay for, but because I have a different type of license set up, I get order flow VWAP for free. So yeah, I got a couple on here that you have to pay for, and some of them you don't. I just don't know which one is which. But this is you talking about 5 years of different apps. But that VWAP, if you can learn the VWAP how to use the VWAP, that thing is monstrous. You think Don Chain Channel is smooth, but the VWAP it gets busy though. It changes the color of your screen and everything. But once I get to learn the VWAP a little bit better, I'm good at it, but not. I don't think I'm good enough to teach it yet. Yeah, because I don't want to be teaching something. And I'm like, I'm barely learning. I barely know how to use it. What else? That's the Fibonacci retracement. That's I want to go over the retracement, which that's what this was, just retracement. Um, we did the time of sales, and we went over the bot times. Uh, bot times. We go over that also because I know a lot of people like to trade at night. The bot when you're using this bot at night, I always lower my target. I lower my profit target to maybe $25, $50. No more than $50 because at night it moves so slow, right? As far as the tick levels and the ticks to skip, I lower those. I probably put this one on maybe 10 and ticks to skip on 12. Because that ticks to skip just means every 12 ticks, there's another level to trade at. And max entries, I normally put that at like 2 or 3 on max entries. But I still keep everything the same, like the trailing entries, trailing target, and the trail stop. I keep those the same. I just adjust the profit target, the profit and the loss. I lower those a little bit because I said at night the market moves a lot slower. But with those settings, with it at $50, I made one night I made like 900. It was in simulation. I was just showing off how to use the settings, but I just kept clicking the button and made like 900 at night. So if you're only trying to get $50, this bot is very consistent because you ain't trying to do a lot. And also the ATM strategy. This one with the trail. This is the trail that I use on that one. So I have the profit trigger. Once the market goes 20 ticks into profit, it automatically moves plus five ticks. So once it goes 20 ticks into profit, which is $100, my stop loss automatically moves and locks in $25. So if it stops at 20 ticks and come back against me, I'm gonna get at least $25. Let me get something for my time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to make a lot of money, but let me get at least 25 for being in a trade. But then once the profit trigger goes 45 ticks, so if it continues going to 45 ticks, my stop loss moves to 10 and then it just follows behind it. It just continues following behind until it comes against me. So that's how I have that stop set up. And I have the frequency set at 1, so it just moves one tick for tick. You can have a frequency of 2, that means it moves 2 times every time the market moves 1, your trail will move 2, which I don't do it like that. But you can start with this trailing setup, and then you can adjust it based on how you trade. I'm gonna leave this up here so you guys could get a chance to write that down. But I definitely like trailing stops because once you start getting more accounts, you don't have to watch every single one of them. You take a trade, you put it on a trailing stop, you can focus on other things. Or if you're busy, like if you're at work or you driving trucks or something like that, you can look at the market, place a trade, and you can continue what you're doing because hey, that's a good level. It's gonna put me in a trade and it's gonna follow it so that I don't turn around and I made $800, but because I didn't have a trailing stop, it turned all the way back around and knocked me out at negative 500 because I didn't have a trail to it. But at least this way you can set it, put a trail on it, and you can continue doing what you're doing, and you know that your account is secured because you took a good trade. But if you're able to sit there, then I'd rather you just manually move it up. Everybody got it down already?
Yeah, I got it.
Good. All right.
I'm,
Anybody have any questions?
I
Going
got
all at
plenty
once.
of, but I
Yeah, go
forgot
ahead.
to write them down. So
Huh?
I got 'em.
Good. You say
Hey,
you wrote them down?
Mr. Hawkins, just side question on well, every Saturday, what time we meet here?
12.
12, okay.
The
That's
only
Eastern.
if it does, yeah, Eastern Standard Time. If it does change, I'll try to let you know as far ahead of time as I can. Matter of fact, I think next Saturday I will not because we'll be traveling to Tennessee for a retirement event. Um, so I'll try. Hold on, when is my flight? My flight's Friday. The event is Saturday. Hold on, I'm gonna find out when the actual retirement event is Saturday. Because if it's later on Saturday, we can still do the Saturday practice. But I'll find out by the end of the day.
You retired already?
Oh no, I've been retired. No, a friend of ours, he's retiring from the military after like 22 years, 23 years or something like that. I was like, yeah, Lord, 22 years. I couldn't imagine. I tried. I tried to stay long, but I could not do it. Them boys kept sending me to the desert.
The stage when you get your vet, you got to come to Detroit for our dream cruise. You
Ooh,
ever
drive
heard
it
about
all, but to drive it all the way, I'm gonna have to put it on a trailer and bring it.
You got the money.
Because when I get my vet, I'm not driving it nowhere far. I'm trying to pass that down to little man when he's 30, though. I'm gonna give it to him when he's 30 because I can't give no Corvette to a 20-year-old. Heck no. You gotta have some responsibilities. But yeah, no, I definitely would come up there for sure. Because I actually want to pick mine up from the museum. I think the museum's in Tennessee. I actually want to pick it up from the museum and drive it back. Because from Tennessee to Carolina, you got the all the mountains and the hills to ride through. Yeah, I think that's gonna be awesome. But that's about another year. I'm giving myself another year, maybe two. I got to build that house first. I need at least a 4-car garage. But are we good? Any other questions do we have?
I'm
Hey,
good.
Mr. H, my last question. I'm gonna go ahead and get my Gridmaster by Monday. I got you and another lady that's kind of been what's a good way to to get a hold of you before I go ahead and make that purchase?
Oh, anytime. Do you guys have I have a text number as well that you guys can text, which gets access. I respond a lot faster instead of like sending me a message on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Those are a lot of different places, but this one goes straight to my phone. I don't have the other ones linked yet. I could put that one. I could put this number in the group for those that don't have it yet. I just put that in the chat group, the number. And you could text that number. You could, or if you need to call, just text first, and if I'm available, I'm like, yeah, give me a call. Because sometimes you have a question that's just way too long to text. So, but yeah, you just hit me up on that one. But yeah, students can get access because sometimes you have questions that you like, look, I got to get this answer real quick. All right, so everything's good. This video will be up in the next hour because I got to download and everything. But yeah, that retracement section, I feel that could help a lot of you guys. All right, so we good? We good? Get a thumbs up from everybody.
We're good. Have a great
All
day,
right.
everybody.
Outstanding. Well, I will see you guys this week when I go live, and I hope you guys make some good money this week. But enjoy your weekend. Don't rush. All
Take
right.
care, all.
For sure.